everybody, and welcome to the Decks of the Weekend. I know it's not Monday, and it is instead Wednesday, but I returned today from my long journey in Las Vegas, where I actually succeeded in my goal of qualifying to the Pro Tour. I competed in the Las Vegas Open 100K. That was over 1,500 people. That's 1,500 people in one single tournament. That's the biggest of 2023. And I managed to top 8. That was sealed. 12 and 2 was the final record. Sealed day 1 and draft day 2. Got a bunch of money and also the Pro Tour invite to Chicago. I'm extremely happy about that. To be back at the PT. There's a lot of support both in real life and online. It was definitely felt like the old days of professional magic. I look a bit tired here because I've been away for a long time today, very jet lagged, but I got all my job done, streamed, and now I gotta do the decks of the weekend as well. What do I have in front of me is the Esper deck that Jean-Maud Deprat won World's Championship 2023 with. My good friend Lorenzo Terlizzi, also top 8, my teammate from Italy, 19 years old. He was playing Esper mid-range, whereas this is the Esper Legends. So Standard looked like a... When we were telling people that upstairs at the World Championship people were playing Paper Standard, a lot of people felt weird about it. But actually, William U. Jensen said that Standard is going to come back to competitive Magic. There are going to be a lot of more tournaments in the stores. The new season after after this RCQ season of Modern will be Standard, with Standard RCQ, RC, and PT. And who knows, maybe even Chicago will be Standard. They haven't announced it yet, which is kind of weird, right? Because they announced the PT after, but they haven't announced the format of Chicago yet. Anyway, the deck that I have in front of me is Esper Legends, very similar, basically the same as the one that we played months ago. I guess they banned a bunch of cards, Invoke, Fable, and Bankbuster. They haven't banned anything of Esper Legends, and Sean Manuel just said, whatever, I'm just running back the same deck, basically. Not that many people chose this deck, but this deck did very well, and I believe 3 French players played it, and all did decent. With Jean Manuel, of course, winning the whole thing. One of the best players in the world, with the Lord Skitter, the Sewer King, as the additional card. Here, go wide, goes wide. You have Raffine, which is extremely good with a lot of rats. You can just attack with them, grow them. You have Fairy Mastermind, which goes with shield, right? Actually, make your opponent draw an extra card, take 2 damage. It is funny, but it does happen. Endemic, which stops a lot of things that went on. For example, the Virtue of Pestilence, or my teammates played Cruelty of Gix, as well as the Agatha Soul Calderon. So yeah, overall, Esper was remain a great choice. For Shieldred, definitely the most popular card of the format right now. And they banned basically every other good card. Yeah, I guess Wedding Announcement also very popular in those events. But yeah, I mean, for now, I'll keep on not making standard content because that's basically only on Magic Arenas. Since on Magic Online Standard is basically dead unless you play the challenges. But maybe in the future I'll go back to Arena. Who knows? But for now, let's go back to the format I follow the most, which is Modern. In Modern, there was also another very important event last weekend. Was the 4th and final Secret Lair showcase of the year. And actually, kind of a funny story. So basically, for those of you who don't know how does the Secret Lair Showdown works, it's an event that's probably like the best EV event of Magic, basically. You pay a lot. The entry fee is definitely very expensive. It's $125. But you get back a promo, a Fatal Push promo that... I don't know how much you can sell it for, but the vendors were selling it for almost the same price. So I don't want to say the event was free because obviously you had to pay a lot of money also to enter the hall, but it was a good event to play. If you go 5-0, there's definitely some buys because there's less than 128 people. So many people had buys at some point, at least one. But overall, you have to 5-0 and you get to the top 32. In the top 30, it's single elimination with it's kind of insane. Single elimination with sudden death. Top 32, everyone wins a promo Ragavan that was sold for like over $3,000, which is insane, right? You 5-0. And then the winner of the day two wins the promo Brainstorm. There was only one every main event of the year, so every Magicon of the year. So there's a playset, and there's a player who was waiting to collect the fourth one because he owned the previous three. So now they have a playset of that card, and that card was sold for tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, this event was huge, and Anzidi was the winner with these four color control deck that has basically just no win condition. I played this deck this morning, and I'd say that I definitely lost one game because I ran out of win conditions. I total control, but I had to play all my Solitude early, which I guess it was because I did not draw Super Verdict. But anyway, very few win conditions, and honestly, this card overperformed West and Zenith, a card that I didn't even consider. It's good because it shuffles in the deck so you don't deck yourself. It's an instant win condition so you can hold up counters, and it makes cat. You can pump with Kaira to just basically fireball them. Actually, I would consider to play this in the main deck. This is not as bad as it sounds. But overall, this deck is playing Logic Knot as well as Counter Spell. You can Logic Knot and pay like X equal 3, and you draw a card with up the Beanstalk. Only one Omnath, only one Cosmic Rebirth. These numbers seem random, but I think they do make sense. Anzi D is an expert of this archetype. He knows how to play fast, and didn't just won the whole thing. Went 10-0, very impressive. Again, I played this deck today. It was good. It's gonna be up on my YouTube channel soon. You'll see that all my losses is because I am not familiar with the archetype. But yeah, definitely if you are, I like this deck. Nova N6 is a good choice, I think, if you want to play Counterspell Logic Knot. Your mana base just simply cannot allow Counterspell and Ren 6 and, you know, all the white removal spells, in my opinion. But, yeah, congrats to Andrea. Definitely one of the person that deserves the successes. He's responsible for all the most of the coverage, paper coverage that you see these days that isn't for what's events. Speaking of coverage, I also did coverage at the MagicCon in Barcelona, but yet to be there in real life at the show on Sunday. I hope you were there. I hope you enjoyed the show with me, Riley, and SV. Top 4 commentary, handing out a bunch of boosters, collector boosters. It was fun. Finally, another deck that I raised this last weekend, not because it has new cards or anything, but because they finally put this new card on Magic Online that is Name Sticker Goblin. So this card is kind of wild that they added to Magic Online because it just is a different card. So in real life, this card is like underscore Goblin, and it has stickers. Like in real life, you have to like shuffle your stickers, randomize them at the beginning of the game, and then whenever you cast it, you pick one of the stickers, you count the vowel inside of it, and whatever. It has 4 or 5 or 6 mana. In real life, Magic Online, they made it a different card. Which is kind of unbelievable, to be honest. But it is what it is. So basically now you are rolling the dice, basically similarly to what you were doing in Dungeons and Dragons. 1 or 6, you had 4. 7 or 14, you had 5. 15, 20, you had 6 mana. It's a common. The kill on the stack, nothing happens. What do you do here? You are playing a Goblin Bushwhacker Kuldotha Rebirth deck, so it's like the old mono red, because what happens here is that you draw a lot of cards with Reckless Impulse, Runs Resolve, you get a lot of mana with a Name Sticker Goblin. It just kind of go off. You have Goblin Caves to prevent your opponent to kill your suffocating fumes, your 1/1 goblins and things like that. And of course, you also have a synthesizer and Cool Authority Birth and so on. So yeah, this is the new card that is played in Pauper. In real life, you could have already played this, and it's different. It's probably better in real life than it is on Magic Online, because in real life, it's unlikely that you roll a 4, or like much less likely that you roll a 4. Whereas in real life, well, 1 to 6, quite high. But yeah, That's it. It's kind of this final part is kind of wild. I didn't expect them to add the name Sticker Goblin. Speaking of they, I actually got to hang out with the Magical crew for a while at the Magical in Barcelona. There was the booth. They were handing out free play points if you competed in some events. I got to talk to the some of the people in there. Gave a lot of feedbacks that hopefully will be added. They seem super interested in knowing my opinion, as well as the one from everyone else that was there to talk. It felt good, honestly. It really felt like Magic Online is very alive and well. The people that manage it care about it, and yeah, I'm gonna keep on playing it. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, thank you everybody for the kind words on the social medias. Yeah, I'll be making daily content on my YouTube channel for a long time, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Bye.